আহিলে নেকি? আহিলে নেকি? দেৰি আছে ন? অলপ দেৰি পিছততো মোৰ শেষ হৈ গ'লে তেতিয়াহ'লে দিগদাৰ।
Vice Chancellor RGUSB Singh.
Dilima ma'am, I think we can start. Please unmute yourself. I think we can start. Professor S.P. Singh will join us shortly, and Abhijit has already joined.
Start, please, Archana.
I think we can join because S.P. Singh will be joining shortly.
Okay, fine. Yeah, let him come.
Abhijit has already joined.
Yeah. There are participants and most of them are muted. Here we have limited participants only, right?
Yes.
So you should start, please.
So I think, okay. So namaste and a very good evening to all our distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and special invitees, invited participants, and all the CTA family members and well-wishers attending this virtual national webinar on the theme Promoting Sports for Holistic Development of the Younger Generation. I am Dr. Archana Bhattacharjee, Vice Chairman of Council for Teacher Education, Assam Chapter, and today I feel proud and privileged to welcome all of you to this virtual webinar organized by CTEF Assam Chapter in collaboration with Gracia Technology, Guwahati. With a little bit of disappointment, I have to inform you that due to his busy schedule, our Honorable Sports Minister of Assam, Sri Bimal Bora Sir, will not be able to grace the occasion as the chief guest. He has expressed his regret for the same and has promised to attend some other events in the future. But the show must go on. So without wasting time, let me invite Professor Nilima Bhagavati Ma'am, International Secretary General, CTEF, and Chairman, State Chapter, to inaugurate the webinar and to deliver her welcome address. But first, let me introduce you to her. Professor Nilima Bhagavati, Emeritus Professor of Guwahati University, retired from service in 2015. She's a well-known educationist, known internationally, and is a national awardee for her immense contribution in the field of education and research. She was a Commonwealth Fellow awardee in 2006 and recipient of the Best Teacher Educator Award and CTEF Kerala Chapter's Best Emeritus Teachers Award in 2019. She has presented 25 papers at various international conferences and 5 at national level. She has had 32 papers published in reputed journals. She has completed 4 major research projects and guided 40 PhD scholars. She was invited speaker to 6 countries. She is the director of the Asian region of Commonwealth Council for Educational Administration and Management. She is also the director of Education Support Society and Students Wellness Society, Assam. Executive member of NCTE and Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal. She is also associated with the NAC team and is a well-known adolescent and parents counselor. To date, she has counseled more than 4,000 students. She is also a teacher trainee and has led Goodwill Mission to 6 countries. So it's over to Nilima Bhagavati ma'am to offer her welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Archana. Namaste to all. Let me start this auspicious program with a universal prayer. Om Sharve Bhavantu Shukhinah. May all be happy. Sharve Dukha Niramaya. May all be free from diseases. Sarbe Bhadrani Pashantu, may all see goodness. Ma Kachid Dukha Bhavavit, may none be unhappy or distressed. With blessings of God, I am here, Nilima Bhagavati, just to give a brief inaugural address, because our routine, or to say our agenda, is well set, so I will not exceed time. I, on behalf of Council for Teacher Education and Gracia Technology Guwahati, welcome you all. Moi hokoluke adoni jonaisu, ushma adoni jonaisu, aru mor gavir shraddha nibedon korisu. It is indeed a privilege for me to host this webinar along with Gracia Technology, because we have a galaxy of sports personalities and celebrities with us today. Indeed, I should say CTF is lucky to get the instant response from all the resource persons, the dignitaries, and as well as from the administrators, educational administrators, policymakers, the school inspectors, and those who are associated with games and sports in the various institutions. This webinar couldn't have been possible, and in fact, we have gathered the confidence when we approached practically our vice chairman, Dr. Archana Bhattacharya, when she approached the resource persons and practically the keynote speaker. I should take the name in the beginning, Sri Kumar Sanjay Krishna IAS. He is very well known, very competent. Everybody knows him as a very competent former Chief Secretary of Assam, Government of Assam. He gave the instant consent, and that just brought the courage to us. Then she approached Sri Molay Bora IAS. He was in the Department of Youth Sports and Youth Welfare, Government of Assam, retired. And we also gathered confidence and also courage from Sri Bora. Next comes Bhargav Dev Chaudhary. He is a teaching professional as well as he is a researcher in sports, as I have come to know. And his words of acceptance was immensely made us very happy. And he is joining us today. We have Abhijit Bhattacharya. Everybody knows him, the very popular captain, former of Team India Volleyball. And he is here to share his experiences with us. We have Diganta Buragohai, the Joint Secretary of Assam Badminton Association. And in fact, he's a journalist too. He's with us and we are just looking forward to hear. We have Professor J.P. Verma, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Sri Anuruddhadev Sports University, Dibrugarh. We have with us Dr. S.P. Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Assam Royal Global University, as well as a sports personality. The theme of the webinar, it is indeed need-based, because all of us are aware that the National Education Policy 2020, which was presented before the nation in July 2020, that has given immense importance to sports along with academia. We also know that at the initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister of the country, Sri Narendra Modi ji, with his initiative, very hurriedly and very quickly, there was preparation of starting the national education policy, or to say implementing the national policy, and hopefully we are going to start very soon in the near future, where sports is one of the very important component of the national education policy 2020. Now, we have seen that in this educational policy, right from the lower primary up to the higher education, there is a tremendous resurgence. There's a tremendous resurgence in the fact that not only in the structure of education, not only in the sort of framing the curriculum, revisiting the curriculum, but in fact, introducing the vocational area as well as the sports. There is abundance choice now before the students. They are empowered to choose from a basket of subjects. They can take up music, they can take up sports if it interests them, those interested. And also the system of education that is to be art related and sports related. This is something very welcome, very welcome. because no one ever thought about this earlier, making education related to art, related to sports. So I feel that now we can think of more professional players coming up from the educational system of education, because they are getting tremendous opportunities, tremendous chances to fulfill their desire, to fulfill their interest. This webinar, in fact, has another justification why we did it, because the sports, the word very sports, it is important from the point of view of developing life skills. We are talking about life skills. We talk in the schools, in the colleges about life skills. It is through the life skills, the students or the children, they learn to reason, the reasoning power, the decision-making power, the problem-solving capacity, or to say the team spirit, the teamwork, the discipline, so many things. All these are being taught, trained, and learned through the means of sports, which the textbooks cannot give us. So this is one of the area which is really important in the present day context. Along with academia, we have to explore the abilities, the interests of our students and guide them accordingly. And yet we have to understand, though we find that most of our parents or most of our guardians, they're still thinking that it is a competitive age. We have to give more stress on books, more stress on 99.5% marks, but this is not the case. The thing they need to realize is that the core ability, or I should say the talent, which each and every child has, the student has, that needs to be explored, that needs to be brought forward so that he or she can be of the person according to the ability he possesses. No wonder we are happy. We have so many people coming out from Assam these days. We have Hima Das to speak of, start with. We have Lavlina Borgohain. We have so many Dipankar Bhattacharya, another one is shuttler, and one is volleyball. He's here with us today. And like Rian Parag and all, so many of them I can name we have, because they are getting the opportunity to be trained, to take the coaching or to have the mentoring, and they're getting the right place in life. And this is actually what we want of our younger generation. Therefore, what I feel before concluding my presentation, that our mindset should be changed. It is not only the textbooks who will make us the man. Yes, in the man-making industry, as Swami Vivekananda said, we have to give equal weightage on the other side. So we have to take education beyond. We have to take education beyond. We had the global conference on it so that we can give justice to our children, to our younger generation. I'm happy to inform you that CTEF, it is in fact a national organization, professional organization of teachers from lower primary to higher education, which was established in 1985. We have crossed 36 years till now. And Assam chapter was established in the year 2001. So all these years, all these decades, we were concentrating on the prime aim of CTEF, that is developing teachers to be competent, resourceful, skillful, but also we are bringing the student community and the parents community into our fold. Because this triangle, the student, the teachers, and the parents, they play a very important role in making the man, what Swami Vivekananda says. Therefore, I feel that CTEF has a mission. It got its international status in the year 2009 with the establishment of one chapter in Nepal, another one in UK, and one in the 2004, the first international chapter that was in Dhaka. That was in Dhaka University, and it is functioning till now. So therefore, I feel proud that the CTEF, it is the only leading organization in the country who is putting service for the betterment, not only of the community, teaching community, but also for the students, as well as for the society. This is how we should go and what we're thinking to go and do more and more work for the state as well as for the nation. Therefore, to end up, I'd like to say that when we talk about, like activities, and pandemic In fact, it brought little bit of slowness into our activities. But anyway, we kept on doing online activities since the pandemic or the lockdown started. And we are now doing our second webinar series, and a webinar which is going to be started after some time with our reputed keynote addresser. It is on promoting sports for the holistic development of younger generation. In fact, it is we people who have to really think how we are and what we are going to do, what we have to do for our younger generation. So with the blessings of God and with the blessings of CTEF founder, President, Dr. Gulab Chaurasia, I declare that this webinar is open for all, including all the participants, the teaching community, the student community, everyone over here. And definitely, we hope it to be very impactful so that we can pass the message to the society. We can pass the message what we're doing to the other sources so they take up the sports as an activity which has its immense need. With these words, I end up over here, just hope keeping the time, Archana, but I do hope it will be a wonderful, we are waiting to hear our wonderful sports personality and the celebrities who are here today. With these words, thank you and namaskar. Namaskar to all.
Thank you, Professor Nilima Bhagavati ma'am, for inaugurating the webinar and also for your inspiring and motivating words, and also for giving an overview of CTEF to everyone present here at this webinar. Now, I would like to invite our distinguished keynote speaker, Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir, to deliver his address. Though he is known by one and all for his remarkable and illustrious career, still, I would like to say a few words about him. Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir was Chief Secretary Assam during 2019 to 20 and belonged to IAS of 1985 batch of Assam Meghalaya cadre. He held various posts such as Additional Chief Secretary, Home and Political, Revenue and Disaster Management, Public Health, Engineering, Information and Public Relations, Food and Civil Supplies, and as Principal Secretary, Planning and Development, Forest and Environment, Cultural Affairs Departments, as Managing Director, Assam Tea Corporation Limited. He was also the DC of Kamrup and Sonitpur, and as the Additional Secretary, Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Ministry, Joint Secretary, Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Director of PMO in the central government. He was also posted as the Director, Tea Board in Newark during 2001 to 2004. Sir has a brilliant academic career. Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir did his MSc in Physics from Delhi University, BSc Honors Physics from St. Stephen's College, Delhi. He did courses in Public Administration, Public Policy, Trade Policy, etc. from Harvard University, Berkeley, and Syracuse Universities. At present, he is the chairperson of Assam Electricity Regulator Commission, which he joined on 4th of January 2021. So it's over to you, sir, to deliver your keynote address. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, perfectly.
Professor Bhagavati, Dr. Bhattacharya, resource persons, and the participants. This is one subject which is very dear to me. I remember I grew up in Jorhat. And one day my grandfather took me to Jorhat Tennis Club when I was probably about 11 years old. And I started learning tennis and started playing well. I believe that in later life, whatever I learned in a tennis court really helped me in preparing myself for different kind of challenges in life. And I'm still so proud that whatever prizes I won, they're still, you can see on my, just above my head, there's all those cups and these things, they are placed in the best of the locations in my house. Thank you, CTEF, for inviting me to be the keynote speaker today. I don't know why you have selected me to be your keynote speaker today, but this is a subject which I really love, and so I thought of participating in it. Physical education is an education which brings improvement in human performances with the help of physical activities. The Central Board of Physical Education and Recreation defined that physical education is an education itself. It is the education through the physical activities for the development of total personality of a child to its fullness and perfection in body, mind, and spirit. Childhood is the most important period in the life of an individual, as the experiences gathered during this period acts as the foundation of his adult personality. In a country like India, where the population is in excess of 1 billion, academic success has typically been viewed as prerequisite for future career and material success. Perhaps that is the reason parents to be extremely involved in their child's academics. Many parents seem to equate intelligence with academics and the grades of the students. However, according to Howard Gardner, a Harvard University psychologist, intelligence is a set of abilities and skill sets specific to each person to live and adjust in the world. He further stated that people with bodily intelligence often tend to play several sports and are physically active. According to World Health Organization, at least 60 minutes of reasonably rigorous playtime every day is essential for growing child to be healthy. A physically active and fit child also has the potential to perform well in academics. For instance, research done by some people observes that students who are aerobically fit are 2.4 times more likely to pass a mathematics test and more than twice as likely to pass a reading test. Physical and mental well-being means the state of being comfortable, healthy, and happy. Physical well-being is the ability to maintain healthy quality of life that allows us to get the most of our daily activities without undue fatigue or physical stress. Participation in regular sports activity can increase our self-esteem and can reduce stress and anxiety. To augment importance of physical and mental well-being, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has introduced Fit India movement across the country. When you talk about recreation in the context of physical education, it means being able to enjoy using body and playing physical games with others. Recreational sports activities improves concentration skills, develop physical health, self-esteem, and self-reliance, creativity, and sense of accomplishments also. It creates fun, reduces stress, enhances pleasure, increase life satisfaction, and promotes psychological well-being. Moreover, a child can develop social bonding, ethnic and cultural harmony, reduces alienation, and develops strong communities. So, maintain our own health and physical fitness at any level of our life is undeniably necessary. A team is a group of people or sports persons with common goal or purpose, and in pursuit of being successful with common interest builds team spirit. Involving ourselves in a group or a team helps us to foster creativity and learning that thrives when people work together on a team. Blends complementary strength, builds trust, teaches conflict resolution, promotes a wider sense of ownership, and encourages healthy risk-taking skills. Physical education and sports provide ample scope to develop one's quality of life through various activities in an organized way. Playing sports is building himself or herself physically, mentally, socially, intellectually, technically, through participation. Games and sports are played under a set of rules. We should not forget about that. The rules and regulations, these are the things which govern our competition in a certain boundary. A sports person keeps himself or herself adapted within its jurisdiction and perform at his or her best. From this context, it can be said that maintaining discipline in sports educates one to lead a life of fellow feeling and togetherness socially. It is through teamwork in sports that develops the quality of social relationship, which is extremely necessary being a social person. Playing sports is like a great way to children to take a break from academics and release the pent-up energy. It also helps them lead fuller and happier lives, as regular sports and fitness activities have proven to provide not only physical benefits, but also social and psychological benefits, but also other activities, other benefits. It also develops character building traits like self-confidence, self-esteem, manage emotions, discipline, social skills, patience, perseverance, accept defeat, which is very, very important. Children, they learn how to accept defeat. Teamwork, respect for the authority, leadership, and lifelong habits. We can always say that these are psychological benefits like reduce the risk of obesity, increase cardiovascular fitness, healthy growth, strengthen lungs. So these are some of the things which are physically very, very important in addition to psychological aspects of life. True competition literally means to strive to or not to strive against. True competition is a kind of partnership in which opponents push each other to achieve excellence. Any competitive situation can be an opportunity to take another step along with our own path and to take pleasure in learning about game, about being gracious in both victory and defeat. So developing of competitive spirit in sports not only depends on his or her training or inherited traits, but also possible by seeing the performance and temperament of opponents. I have listed few things what the sports can teach us. It can help us to have a healthy mind. One needs a healthy body to have a healthy mind. Great achievements can be possible if one has both physical and mental well-being. Sports are source of recreation. It provides physical fitness. It encourages team spirit. It imparts sense of discipline and fellow feeling. It teaches value of time and punctuality. It helps in having a fuller and happier life. It helps in having it helps to make one competitive in life. It teaches to improve self-discipline. It helps to develop confidence. Sports help in maintaining a balanced behavior. It helps and teaches to do hard work. So I'm very happy that CTEF is giving importance to this aspect of life. I remember when I was a student in Jorhat, we used to have a physical education teacher. But in those days, he used to be known as only drill master. So whenever he used to get time, so he used to take us out to the field and do a little bit of physical activities. But with time and with Government of India, Government of Assam's initiatives, that the sports can be also a very, very important aspect in life. And this should start from the time when we are in the school. So teachers have to give a lot of importance this aspect of life, physical education, and leading to a particular sports. I'm very happy that this webinar is organized today, and CTEF has to really provide a platform in future, developing teachers training in such a way that these aspects of life are given equal importance from the beginning, from the childhood. With these few words, I convey my best wishes to all the participants, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of discussion today. Resource persons being there, they have excelled in their fields, different sporting activities. So they will be able to speak and encourage and motivate the participants more. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views and your life experiences with us. And you have really sent out a very powerful message to your address by stressing on the fact that physical education and sports can really enhance the quality of life. This is something we all of us tend to overlook. And we all know, we have been taught also in early life that a healthy mind exists in a healthy body. So in addition to that, you have also highlighted something very important of maybe the parents or the guardians are not aware of that fact. But as I belong to a sports family of Assam, I'm aware wherever I am, whatever I am today, I think I owe it to my sports background also, because there are certain life skills, disciplines, socializing, and many other things which I have learned from sports and which I'm sure a younger generation, if taught properly, can or guided properly, can also learn, which will take them forward in life. So thank you so much, sir. In the beginning, you raised a question. You wondered why we thought of you. And I think while during a telephonic conversation, I said, you came to our mind because I often see your pictures playing tennis on Facebook. And I know in spite of your hectic schedule, you still continue to play games. And that is necessary to because it keeps you balanced. In spite of all the stresses that you have carried over the years, you have always remained balanced. And I think you owe it to sports too. So thank you so much, sir. We look forward to your presence in other webinars too in the future. Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite our first invited speaker, Mr. Moloy Bora. Mr. Moloy Bora is an IS officer of 2004 batch of Meghalaya cadre, was serving as the member board of Revenue Commissioner, Central Assam Division and Development Commissioner and Secretary, Sports and Youth Welfare Department till his retirement on August 30th, 2021. He was the CEO of Guwahati Metropolitan Development Authority from March 2019 till his retirement. He was Secretary, Government of Assam in 2017, Deputy Commissioner of Hailakandi, Assam in October 2015 to January 2017, and the Joint Secretary, Department of Forests and Environment, Government of Assam from September 2011 to July 2013. He also has a brilliant academic career. He did his master's in rural development in 1996 to 1997 from University of East Anglia and master's in arts in sociology from JNU Delhi. He completed his graduation from Cotton College. There are lots to say, but due to time constraint, I think now I'd like to hand over the mic to Mr. Moloy Bora. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Nilima Bhagwati Madam and Archana Bhattacharya from the Council of Teachers Education. After a lot of asking from Archana Bhattacharya, I thought that I would participate in this webinar because I was holding the post of Commissioner of Sports for some time. And as our previous Chief Secretary has said, Sanjay Krishna has said that physical education as well as physical fitness and education go hand in hand, and I quite agree with him. A few things I wanted to bring to your notice. There are a lot of eminent speakers here, including the Vice Chancellor of the Sports University. I'm sure he's got a lot, and we are good friends. I think he's got a lot to say regarding sports, and he's a much better person to tell you about it. And I'll be delighted, and I'll be listening to him. But first thing I'd like to say here in this webinar, thank you for inviting me, and I'm because of some glitch in this in my computer, so I'm doing it from the mobile. I hope the people bear with me for this. So I think the central theme for fitness and education comes from the fact that in 2019, our Honorable Prime Minister launched the Fit India movement. And this is a very important step that he has taken since the August 2019. And it was across 4 lakhs of schools that the Fit India movement took place. And I do hope whatever Prime Minister, the message of the Fit India movement of Prime Minister is going to each and every village, schools that are there, especially in Assam. And for this, the Central Council for Teachers Education, I think, has got a very important role to play. Actually, sports or education, for that matter, we cannot just leave it to the government. It is for all of us to work together to take this thing forward. The present scenario in Assam for sports, the enthusiasm that is there in sports is at the peak, with Lavlina winning the Olympics. And then Hima Das and all, and I was very fortunate to be witness to all these happenings, and to welcome all these great athletes and great players to Assam. So I was very fortunate that during my tenure all these things took place, and I now, taking the example, I think now Assam is at a stage where physical education, sports as a holistic development is at its peak, and we must strike while the iron is hot. There is no denying the fact. In Assam, we have been having this regular sports events like Pilik Chaudhary Memorial Inter-District Football Tournament, holding Deokan Memorial Tournament, and District Athletes Tournament, or under 14, under 17. All these things have been going on for some time. And it's not that, that these things were not happening. The schools were participating in that. The schools have been participating. The youngsters have been participating, and all these while these things have been happening, but then this was at a very low ebb. Now since the last government and this present government, this has taken a very, very positive turn, and it has become a very important factor for all around development of youth. I remember in February this year, our Honorable Governor had started a new program called Girls Volleyball Program, and he launched it in a very somber kind of a program in the Raj Bhavan, where he invited a few volleyball players, and then this was a program which was which is an integration of education department, the sports department, as well as the rural development department. So the rural development department was supposed to be making the fields. The sports department is supposed to be giving the sporting goods that are required for the volleyball, and then the education department is supposed to be for the women of that area to come up for volleyball. He had this beautiful vision in mind. I think it's a brilliant idea of integrating all the departments and taking this forward. So, and we did this function, and we went ahead, and these equipments were distributed. These fields were also made. So, but then the Honorable Governor asked me just before my retirement, a couple of days back, how are these programs doing? And we, that time, I had some amount of information. I said that it's going on, but unfortunately, I would be, now that I'm out of the government, I would be very frank. So unfortunately, our main weakness is that sustainability. When we try to launch a program, when we do certain things, it is the sustainability of the program, whether be it in physical education, or now we are talking about physical education and physical fitness, or holistic development of the child through physical education. So wherever it is, that the sustainability of the program is a must. So this is something that we must do in the government, and this is where the other stakeholders, the other stakeholders of the society comes in, and this is where we all our organizations like this, like the Council for Teachers Education, we'd have to work hands-on. Of course, today it's a very good beginning, and we thank the Central Council of Teachers Education that the step has been taken. But I think all of you, as Madam Nilima Bhagwati has said, that you have your chapters all around the country and abroad. So all around the country and abroad. So in Assam also, you must go to the grassroots level, and we have to see that the physical education and sports are there, are taking place in a holistic manner. There's no dearth of infrastructures that are being built now. A lot of infrastructures have been built, and now new infrastructures are going to be built. In fact, just the other day, our Honorable Chief Minister had a new program, launched a new project taking finance from NABARD. It's called National. It's NABARD Rural Infrastructure Assistance, from where he is. We are planning. The government is planning to make 49 mini stadiums in the state, and then 50 district stadiums, which is costing 12 crores and 50 crores each. So that's a huge amount of money that's going to be spent, and then state-of-art stadium in Chandrapur. So that's a lot of money that is going to be spent in infrastructure. But along with the infrastructure, I mean, there is no dearth of infrastructure. Then we had the CM's volleyball field, CMGY's volleyball development program, where 500 fields were supposed to be developed, and it was to be done in the schools only. And these are being developed in a progressive manner. And by this time, I think 400 have been already developed. So these infrastructures are already available. What is required is now to make use of these infrastructures. And who's going to make use of these infrastructures? It is the youths, it's the students, it's the youngsters who are to be guided properly. There is a system of physical instructor teachers in schools, but unfortunately, this post has become quite redundant, and many a times we see that the physical instructor in the schools are doing other courses like social science. They're teaching social studies or something like that, neglecting physical education. So this is quite unfortunate. So during this time when this present Minister of Sports had taken over, he was thinking of restructuring this whole process, and he was thinking of having his physical instructors in a cluster basis, looking after three, four schools. But somehow there is a lot of resistance to this kind of restructuring, so it is not taking place. I hope these kind of things takes place, because if we don't take a giant leap forward, and if we don't take the bull by the horn, I mean, these things will not happen. And as I was telling you before, it is the as I was telling you before, it is this time is most appropriate for us to go ahead with the sports activities, be it in any field, and we can see that we see Lovely now. She's from Golaghat district, and in Golaghat district, particularly from where Lovelila comes, there's a lot of girls who are very much proficient in boxing. So this is something that one will have to nurture. This is where the schools will have to nurture, and we must make the schools orient the schools in such a way that they give equal importance to both physical and other education, the normal education and physical education, because nowadays the having doing physical education is like, hey, those kind of days are over. Physical education is an important aspect for as a career move also. And recently we had this Bukeswar Borua sports pension. Those medal winners, the Honorable Chief Minister, those medal winners who were not doing any job, they have been given a pension of regular pension, and those who have been doing a job have been given one-time award. So these things are happening, and these are only a little things that one can do. It is now for everybody. These medal winners, the teachers, as well as the infrastructure that has been created, all have to work in union. So the whole ecosystem of the sports as a part of the education has to come up. So this is all I think I have. It's all I have to say regarding this in today's conference, and I thank one and all of you who are here. I'll be eagerly listening to the other participants for what they have to say, and I especially thank Nilima Bhagwati Madam and Archana Bhattacharya for inviting me for this seminar, and thank you very much. And I would definitely be in touch with both of you, and if I can be of contribution in any way in terms of taking this shaping this this physical education in physical education as a holistic approach in the schools or in the colleges, I'll be most willing to do it, and we can all sit down and we can put it on the drawing board, and then we can take it to the government, or we can just spread it across. This is all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maloy Bora, for sharing your vast experience and your thought-provoking insights. It gave us plenty of food for thought. And you started off by talking about the Fit India movement that was launched by the PM in 2019, but it is yet to reach all the nook and corners of our own state. And here, actually, you have again highlighted another very important thing, and that is we normally depend on the government to take all the initiative, but it's a responsibility of the public, that stakeholders also, to join hands. to make any government program a success. And as you said, the enthusiasm for sports is at its peak with the achievements of Hima Das, Lavlina Borgohain, etc., etc. So we have to strike the iron while it is still hot. Yes, that is a wonderful message coming out from here. And lastly, the most important thing is that for anything to succeed, we need to be sustainable. We need to make a sustainable effort. It's not something which comes in a flash and disappears in a flash. We have to continue. And in this process, everyone, all of us, not just the sports people, but everyone, the government, the sports people, the public, everybody has to join hands. And then only it will lead to success. So thank you once again, sir, for your offer to support us, to help CTF in any kind of endeavor we take up in the future. Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Bhargav Dev Chaudhary. And as you know, he's a teacher by profession, working in Oil India Duliajan, but he's also certified in sports coaching from National Institute of Sports, understanding sports injury from International Olympic Committee, as well as in exercise physiology, the body in motion from, again, International Olympic Committee. He has completed courses in yoga and meditation also from different centers in different places. He's a fitness and wellness activist and has served as visiting faculty on holistic wellness and yoga at Bath and Wales Multi-Academy Trust, an organization which runs 30 primary schools in southwest country of Somerset, United Kingdom. He has also shared his expertise and resources with the Center for Management Studies, Dibrugarh University, Rainbow Organization, and Symbiosis, Pune, and many others too. Having done his MBA, HR, PGD in sports management, he's at present pursuing postgraduate diploma in clinical nutrition under Amity University and also working for his PhD degree in physical education from Lovely Professional University. So welcome, Mr. Bhargav Dev Chaudhary. The virtual stage is yours. Thank you.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste, madam. Namaste, all the eminent personalities present here. And first of all, thank you, host organization, that is Council for Teachers Education, Assam, and Assam chapter, and Gracia, that is hosting organization, if I'm not wrong. And especially today's keynote speaker, Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir, such a great personality of our state, and Malay Bora sir. So far, he's well-known, that is sports administrator of the state. My friend Abhijit Bhattacharya sir, and along with us today, that is JP Verma sir, and such a legend person in the field of sports science, sir, and Diganta Borgohain, the Joint Secretary of Assam Volleyball Association. Thank you, all of you. And especially I offer my heartfelt thanks to Nilima Bhagavati ma'am and Arsana Bhattacharya ma'am for inviting me to this session. And but without making further late, and better to go into the main theme. May I share one PPT, madam? Kindly, please. It is in disable mode, I think. Can you please?
Yeah, I'll ask. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Santosh, can you permit him to share his PPT? Santosh? Hello? Santosh?
It's okay, ma'am. Then no issue.
No. Just a second. Santosh? Santosh?
He will go on, and in the meantime, that will be arranged.
Yeah, we will go forward. We will go forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please permit him to share his PPT.
Sure, ma'am.
Mr. Chaudhary, you are the co-host now. You can share.
Yeah. First of all, regarding this topic, I'm bringing one sub that is titled here, Sports Wellness and Triple Impact Athlete, Trends and Future Directions. So first of all, as we know that this poor lifestyle become a serious issue throughout the world right now. And one that is a statement from WHO that came out that in 2030, 1/3 of total population of the world is going to be obese, and they will ultimately leading towards some lifestyle diseases. But apart from that, if we speak on sports, and so far we must accept that in the medal tally, still we are in the end part of the last part of the total Olympic medal tally. So it is why we must accept that we are internationally we are a non-athletic nation. We must accept that. But and further, one thing I would like to just add along with that, there is some good news also on it. That in last 2 decades, government of India and this government of Assam immensely giving effort towards developing various high performance centers. Even our JP Verma sir is present here, and so far the sports university that we got in our state. These are the great move from the government side. And further, if we go to the our that is culture of the nation, then if we go, that is once that is it is said that Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and once he was one of the person, he dropped his formal education in between just because of his physical fitness. He felt that his physical fitness is not up to that mark for continuing his studies. And interestingly, he dropped that and he developed himself in such a way for his further studies later on. Just our forefathers and our previous eminent personalities, they shown us lots of examples. Swami Vivekananda once said that I need men with muscles of that is iron and the nerves of steel. So thing is that we have good physical culture, we have some good histories, and if we go for our ancient that is Ayurveda and yoga, then where if we go through some modules of keeping our people healthy, that is one module is called Swasthavrita. Swasthavrita, that is Swasthavrita that covers 3 aspects. One that is considered as Dinsarya, how to live our daily life or how to live a healthy, happy, and fruitful life in the daytime. And another aspects that it is stated in that is Swasthavrita is Ratri Sarya. So how to stay at the night time, and at the same time, and the Ayurveda, it is said that Ritu Sarya, according to the season, we have how we can live, how we should live our life. So it means we have good culture over sports and wellness. However, in Olympic concern or international sports circuit, our performance is not up to that mark. We must accept that. But we are growing. We are growing. Another that is interesting thing, and most of the things government side or the authorities, they are taking lots of initiatives. But socially, and being a responsible citizen, we have also some task that has to be or from the academic side, we have to give that much of support along with this that is infrastructure and materialistic facilities. So we have some challenges. First, one thing we must realize right now is that rather infrastructure, high-tech facilities, we must learn to use optimum use of available resources. So whatsoever thing we have with that, how can we use the scientific knowledge, sports science skills in our day-to-day life to harvest our kids as an Olympian. So need to develop a character building sports education culture. That is very important. Along with this sports infrastructure and facilities, we need to develop a special module. That module can, so that it can help us in character building and sports education culture. Then that has to be developed from the childhood itself. And sure, Malay sir is there, and we must accept that. And JP Verma sir is also there. We must accept that there is a big vacuum in academic world in sports right now. So, but it is good news that most of the good students, academically sound students, they are coming to this discipline. It is also a good news, and we need some scholars and academically sound personalities for building a athletic nation. So, one more thing I would like to bring one reference, basically, that it is for the developments. Yes, it is obvious that there would be definitely a buffer zone between entertainment sports and the development sports. And we are speaking about the developmental sports. So one that is concept, if anyone present here from United States in this webinar, then they would better know about this, that there is a module similar to our, that is Fit India module, or other modules are going on in India, similar to that in US. There is a module that is running under one that is non-profit organization framed by Jim Thompson in 1998. That is Positive Coaching Alliance. It is known as PCA. And the PCA's objective is to grow the children in such a way so that he can develop himself as a good athlete, good personality, better human being. And ultimate objective is to complete that already Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir told that to be a citizen of that is who can serve this nation better. So in this Positive Coaching Alliance, they have one initiative. It is called Triple Impact Competitor Module. The hallmark of Triple Impact Competitor, it is their module. As we are aware, a little bit aware about this Fit India movement. It's excellent movement that is going on by our government. So it is just as a reference I'm bringing this. And according to this, it says better. Better means better reflects in Olympic motto, that is Citias, Altias, Fortias. Better means the best. Better is the better than the best. It means if we are the Olympian or achieving that is gold medal, that is if I'm a gold medalist, even after that I have scope to be the better. Means there is always a that is open space to be a better than the best. So according to that motto, that what Positive Alliance they says, they works in 3 different modules. The same thing, ultimate thing is all-round developed citizen. So for that, first self. Self means make oneself better by growth mindset. What is growth mindset? Growth mindset is that one player who takes care of himself, as he can set his goals, he gives maximum effort in his sports, improves his mental game, and he develops the capacity to overcome inevitable setbacks in his athletic career or in day-to-day life. He avoids high risks of behaviors, manages hydration, rest and recovery. Rest and recovery is two different things basically. Rest is complete. It is the state of inactive state where we allow our body to replenish by some nutritions and that is repair our body in an inactive state. But that is recovery is that when we involve ourselves in some activity through active mode to get relaxed, that is the recovery. So they knows they have idea about the rest and recovery hydration. And Abhijit sir and myself from White Light Sports, we already tried to bring one series of videos on this regarding hydration, because in our state so many misconceptions that is are there regarding hydration. So in the question answer session, I shall try to place my views on this if required. So second point, that triple impact competitor concept says that is teammate. Become a leader who makes those teammates better by encouragement. It means to build a leadership quality, and being a leader in the team, a child or an athlete who develops the capacity to resolve conflicts within the team. And third point, that is game, that Sanjay Krishna sir also that is covered this area, and Malay Bora sir also he covered this area. That that same thing that they bringing in a word that is called root. Root, it means become a developmental athlete by honoring the root. Root means R for rules. Our athlete has to be groomed in such a way academically. He has to respect the rules, officials, his opponents, teammates, and self. So these roots, that should be, they are implementing this through some modules in the school. They are bringing some activities. They are giving some that is rewards if some athlete follows the triple impact competitor concept. They provide this. This is the DARE module. So right now in academic world in our country, we need parallel to the sports infrastructure and everything, we need a academic or a holistic approach which can bring our athletes sound. And हम लोग का मतलब कोई भी कोचेस ऐसा ना बोल सके कि मेरा प्लेयर बहुत टैलेंटेड था बट इनडिसिप्लिन है, वो बोलने का मौका ना मिले. So then another module that I want to bring here for holistic development, that is, yes, we can relate with the Swasthavrita also, that already I have given that one. That is that we have already that culture. We need a proper module along with this. So there is a module, it is called Healthiest State Initiative in Iowa, USA. That Iowa concept that is announced in the state-wise, basically it is initiated by Governor Kim Reynolds and Lieutenant Governor Adam Gregg. Both of them announced this for the, they try to mold the athletes from his childhood itself, from the primary school itself. According to that, they have one policy that is 5210 module, healthy choices count. According to that, a nationally recognized evidence-based framework, they developed that one. It's a good research already. Even some research papers are also in Scopus index, that is in Q1 journals on it. So according to that, they recommend 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. They promote in the schools that a children should, or in a community or in the clubs or everywhere, they promote this, that a child should take 5 servings of fruits in a day, and fruits and vegetable in a day. Along with that, 2 hours or less of recreational screen time, where आपका उसमें ये नहीं रहेगा जो मतलब ऑफिशियल टाइम और जो मतलब एक्टिव जो मतलब स्कूल टाइम पे जो स्क्रीन पे रहेंगे वो इसमें नहीं रहेगा. So what will be there? It is purely a recreational time. It is, this says that it should be less than 2 hours recreational screen time. Mobile ho ya kuch bhi ho, mobile ho ba apunar mane apunar TV computer jiye no kyo 2 ঘন্টাত কই কম হ'ব লাগে. 3 নম্বৰ তেওঁলোকে মডিউলটোৰ কথা কৈছে যে 1 hour or more physical activity and 0 sugary drink. that one initiative that is taken by Wildlife Sports in the state on it, that is zero sugary drinks. So Abhijit Bhattacharya sir, he is also involved with that. So zero sugary drinks, 1 hour more physical, 1 hour or more physical. Let the child play. कुछ भी खेले, उसको खेलने दे. We should not impose so many rules, regulations, and anything. Let the child play, and one zero sugary drinks. And one more thing, the technical thing I would like to share in this platform, that most of the athlete thinks that they need some energy drinks, sports drinks. First of all, if an athlete if is not involving more than 1 hour of high intensity training, then it's obvious that he don't need any kind of different kind of sports drink. And there is a vast difference between energy drink and sports drink. So we maybe needed sports drink if we play more than 1 hour of high intensity training. And that sports drink can be prepared at our home. Just it's very simple. We need 800 ml of that is simple plain water, little bit of rock salt, that is amar hoindab lobon boli jitu koy okoman nijor taster karone aru 200 gram mane 200 grams of that is locally available fruits. If we mix all these things, that would be the isotonic drink. That is more than sufficient for our athlete if they are playing more than 1 hour. Rest, first we have to stop sugary drinks, juices, everything, whatever we get in the available in the market. Then according to this module, this kind of module can be easily brought up to the community level, up to the school level. It is very simple, and people ইয়াত এটা কথা আমি সোৱাটো সাগে প্ৰয়োজন হ'ব যে এনেকুৱা এটা মডিউল হ'ব লাগে যেটো মডিউল আমাৰ সৰ্বসাধাৰণ সকলো ধৰণৰ পেৰেন্টস, সাধাৰণ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী সকলোৱে যাতে খুব সহজে আয়ত্ত কৰিব পাৰে আৰু এটা এথলেটিক এটা এনভাইৰনমেন্ট আমাৰ সমাজত গঢ় লয়. So yet I try to bring some recommendations. If at a question and answer, I shall try to focus on this part. And over to our Arsana Bhattacharya madam. Thank you.
So have you finished?
Yes.
Thank you, madam. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much, Bhargavdev Chaudhary. That was a different kind of a presentation. In fact, you have given us plenty of food for thought, I must say. And you have stressed on the athletic culture, which is very important and which, as you have highlighted, is sadly missing, somewhat missing. Now, of course, change is coming about, but it is still not the rate in which we hope it will be, but we are optimistic. We want to build up an athletic culture in our state too. And but many factors are responsible for that low athletic culture, and it could be because of the poor lifestyle, and which often leads to different kind of health issues. And so you have opened up our minds to a lot of possibilities and how we can actually develop that kind of a culture starting from home, how we can change our lifestyle, how can we go about developing ourselves starting with the self and then to the other. And then again, you have talked about something very new. For me, at least, it is new. You have talked about the triple impact competitor, which is a new concept for all of us, and which actually stresses on all-round development of an individual. So we need to learn more about it, and I hope you will give us more knowledge in this area in the future too. So thank you so much, Bhargavdev Chaudhary, for being present here and for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. Now, our next speaker is Mr. Abhijit Bhattacharya. He is a former Team India volleyball captain, and till 32 years of age, Abhijit actually rolled, jumped, and spiked on the volleyball courts across the world to help India win 8 international medals, including 5 gold. After joining ONGC in 1998, he took the initiative to rebuild the volleyball team from scratch and went on to become the national champion in 2002. He has the rare distinction of representing 4 states, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Assam, and was the captain of 3 states. He represented Indian team continuously for 10 years. Post-retirement, this former captain of the Indian men's team founded Rangoni Youth Sports Foundation, through which more than 5,000 youths from rural Assam were introduced to volleyball. An alumnus of Sainik School Gwalpara, Abhijit has 10 years of experience in CSR and has successfully implemented award-winning projects for his organization. He is also a certified level 1 volleyball coach, mentor at ICAP, member of Talent Screening Committee, Hello India, and also a certificate holder in CSR and sustainability from Anglia University, Cambridge, and author of the book titled Celebrate Life. Currently, he is spearheading the Assam Volleyball Mission 100, through which children from rural areas are encouraged to stay fit by playing volleyball. There is more to hear from him, so it's over to you, Abhijit, now.
Thank you, Archana ma'am. Nice and wonderful words. It's really a rare privilege for me, being a sportsman, to be present in such a educative platform. I never thought when I was a child. So even though it's a public platform, I would like to start with a very true confession of my childhood. I happens to be from a place called Kolli, which is surrounded by legends of Assam, their houses. His house was just behind us. Poni Kharma, Padmanath Gohai Barua, Nipon Goswami. And at that point of time, probably Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir was also 1 kilometer away in the DC bungalow. The fact is, just close to my house was 2 of our organizers, Nilima Bhagavati ma'am and Archana ma'am. They happened to be in the education field, and I was one of the most naughtiest child in the area who was never interested in studies. So I always used to stay away from Nilima ma'am or Archana ma'am, who will somehow may ask, what is your grade in your studies? So आज तक जिसको have और hairs के बीच में differentiate नहीं कर पाया, so they always stay away from the academic like this. But the fact that today I am part of this platform, I hope sports has taught me something. Sports has given me some education. Back when we were in our school, every 6 months a progress report is given to us. And when a sports person in the 80s, late 80s, who thinks of to be a sports person and to take sports as a profession, when he received the progress report, it is the most terrifying time for him to get the signature of the parents, because the scorecard, the progress report will say like 40, 60, 30, pass with grace mark, something like that. But there is an irony into it, because how can they say it's a progress report of a child when they are only concentrating on the academic intellectual part of a child, when you're completely ignoring the physical fitness side? Have I not progressed in my life? But if you see the mark sheet, you will say that I have never progressed. Now, finally, 20 years, the government has come up with a holistic education policy where they are also going to measure the physical fitness probably. And that's how I believe that a child is complete and he should be taken, everything holistic approach should be taken while identifying or determining in a child. So that's what was my apprehension for 30 years. And I thought that I have not learned anything, but the fact that I joined ONGC under sports quota in 1998. And when I joined the company, I used to introduce to other senior officers of my company. And when they asked, which GT batch are you from? So when I said that I'm a sports quota joining, they would start, oh, sports quota. There is an O related to us, like the sportsmen. So there was a time I thought that I will prove them wrong somehow. And for 10 years, I was with the ONGC team. We built the team from scratch and we went on to become national champion. And that was a long story. I won't go to my sports performance or sports representation or experiences here. I would rather share something beyond that, what I have learned actually, and what is my education and how like it's helping me out. I have 15 minutes, probably I've already taken 2-3 minutes. So I will wrap up in 15 minutes. So when when I played for the team for 10 years, 11 years, then I was decategorized. I even wrote for decategorization. I was placed in the corporate office of ONGC, corporate CSR office of ONGC. So when I went there, all my colleagues were from IIMs Kozhikode, IIMs Calicut, IIMs, Indore, and from IITs. And amidst all those, there was one sports person who just completed his graduation through correspondence to Delhi University. And I was the odd man out there, struggling how do I cope up with the corporate system. But in course of time, in next 2-3 years, things started changing. My senior officials, my executive directors, my directors, for all the challenging assignments, they will say that send a visit, make him part of this, make him part of this. Then one day while I was with them, then I realized they were like discussing over a cup of tea, like whatever they have learned in those B schools, all those leadership qualities, all those teammanship, all those gratitude, how to take quick decisions, empathy. These are the things which sportsmen learn practically on ground. And whatever challenge is thrown to them, they will accept it and they will never say no. So that's how my confidence level built. And now I will go back to my experience in Assam with working with the grassroots children. When I actually left the Indian team in 2008, around when my father expired and I was slightly disturbed, so that was the time I decided that I will retire from sports and I will work for my company. And in 2009, once I was in Tejpur, to my friends from the volleyball fraternity, they told that, Dada, you should visit this village near Thelamara, where the youth are very enthusiastic about sports. So I went there. There was a huge football ground in it. We went there. There were 2 volleyball courts in 2 corners. So on one ground, the girls were playing. On the other ground, the boys were sitting idle. So I told them that I have come to see you play. When are you going to play? So when they saw me, they were quite excited. They brought water for me, bench leke aaya, dada baithiye, bohok. So I was they started looking at each other's face. So when I asked them what happened, they told that the only ball they had got punctured the other day. So that ball used to cost only 350 rupees. It was in 2009. So I asked them, what are you going to do now? Because I was not aware. I was with the Indian team for 10 years and this was one small vacation of mine. So they told that one of their players' uncle works with Indian Army and posted somewhere in Haryana. He will come back and he has promised them a ball. So I was like, this young children, all in the age group of 16 to 18, is going to wait till their uncle comes and give them a ball. They're all eager to play. So I was like, it really actually touched me. And that was how everything changed. When we returned back home, none of my friends, they were talking. So I sat down, I called my officers in ONGC and I told them, please extend my leave. I want to stay back for 1 more week. Giving them a ball was not a solution, I know, because ball de denge, fir se phat jayega wo, fir kuch ho jayega. To create an environment to take all the people of the village together was the aim. So next day I went to the village, we took some ball and net, unko diya, fir unko bola ki we will organize a tournament in your village next Sunday. And everyone should be involved. Like the village headmen, the teachers, whoever the government servants are there, they have to come. We invited everyone. And the girls, they started cooking, ground bachon ne ready kiya. We put a loudspeaker, chota sa samiana lagaya, ek trophy rakha. And the teams from Tejpur participated. By the time when it was evening, the village team reached the final and the environment completely changed. The village headman came. So that's how actually we got the motivation and we started supporting. We found that there are rural pockets who need balls, who need support from us. And we started supporting. So that was the journey with my children in 2009, 2010. And we started supporting, adopting centers in every rural pocket. So my friends, jitne bhi corporate world mein hai, main unko bolta tha, kuch balls de do, kuch net de do, kuch kit de do. We started distributing them. And then we found that there are a lot of talent hidden all this in these centers. Like, so we need an academy. So there was no academy in Assam. I was playing for UP, I was playing for AP, I was playing for Uttarakhand. Every sports state has a sports hostel of their own. Jahan pe bacche rehte, train karte, jo achhe bacche hote. So I had this dream to start an academy in Assam. And then we started for searching for land. तो एक ने किसी ने जमीन हमको दिया तो उसको land filling किया tractor से. फिर step by step मेरे जितने भी friend circle है सबको बोला कि donate brick, donate cement. So that's step by step by donating brick, cement, and we approached ONGC. ONGC gave us some part funding. Then We took that land, developed, and we started the first academy of Northeast, Volleyball Academy of Northeast, through Rangoni Youth Sports Foundation. And that's where the talented players were brought in. एक makeshift kitchen था जो अभी तक वैसा ही है, एक makeshift gym है, वहाँ पे बच्चे रह के training कर till the COVID time they were training there. That was one part of the story. Then when I found that across Assam the situation is same, everyone wanted that something has to be done to uplift this. So during 2019, we all of us came together and started this mission that let's collect 100 ball first to support all these centers. So that's how the Assam Volleyball Mission 100 started. So we told that we will first collect 100 balls and distribute in the centers. We will we will start training new 100 players. फिर 100 center हम लोग support करेंगे. So that was the vision basically. Since Sanjay Krishna sir is here, Molai Bora sir is here, all from government official, former government official. Very often I have been asked like, government ने help किया कि नहीं? Every time you approach a reporter, government ने help किया कि नहीं? But my concept is very clear, sir. जब मैं छोटा सा सर 1988 में मेरे को एक स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के कोच ने मुझे कोचिंग देके मेरा विजन बनाया सर. So is it not that government contribution? उनके contribution के कारण आज शायद मैं आके खेल पाया हूँ, आ पाया हूँ, and everybody sacrificed like. So this is my responsibility probably to give back to society. So that's how the Assam Volleyball Mission started. When it started, we took off. We started supporting 56 centers, and that's when the COVID lockdown started. So for me, it was a different kind of experience. I started motivating them. Then I came in touch with Archana ma'am, who was supporting 2 tea garden centers with education. तो हमने क्या प्लान किया, लेट्स स्टार्ट. मैंने देखा कि अपने बच्चे ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग कर रहे थे और स्कूल के क्लासेस में योगा होता है उनका. सो अगर योगा सीख सकते हैं तो वॉलीबॉल भी सीख सकते हैं. सो आई स्टार्टेड ए मॉड्यूल. आई अप्रोच अर्चना मैडम दैट लेट्स ट्रेन दिस टी गार्डन चिल्ड्रन, लेट बी ए प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपेरिमेंट, लेट मी ट्राई. सो आई डेवलप्ड ए मॉड्यूल and reach out to the two tea gardens where they were like the center in charge have never touched a volleyball, and everything was on lockdown. There was no shops open. We cannot send even ball to them. So we started with cloth ball, कपड़े का ball round करके बना के उनको हम लोग ने underhand सिखाना शुरू किया. That's how we developed. Then
Summit Dev OST Minister of Sports and Youth Welfare.
Then I realized कि ये जो इतने सेंटर्स है हमारे पास, इनको सबको कुछ ना कुछ जरूरत है और हर बार हम लोग बॉल मांग के उनको नहीं दे सकते. तो हमें क्या किया, आई सेट डाउन इन माय कंप्यूटर एंड डेवलप ए डिजाइन. एक लीग डिजाइन किया. जितने भी हमारा सेंटर इंचार्ज है गांव, सबको बुलाया ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म. उनको पहली बार जूम ऑनलाइन आने के लिए सिखाया गया. उन्होंने आया. तो मैं वी डिजाइन ए लीग इन ए वे कि हमारे पास कोई बजट नहीं है, लेकिन इन बच्चों को एक प्लेटफॉर्म देना है. तो हाउ डू वी गिव देम? सो आइडिया वाज, आई टोल्ड देम, देखो, यू कैनॉट change cricket, hockey or tennis by donating 1 kilo of chawal, 1 kilo of dal or 1 kilo of something else, whatever, the vegetables. But you can definitely change volleyball if you want to. So we design in a way a league where there will be 4 village teams and every village will play a home and away match. So that way, एक गांव के बच्चे को 3 नया गांव देखने को मिलेगा. So they will be able to see 3 new villages. उनको exposure मिलेगा. The home village will organize food for the visiting team. एक फीस होगा, एक कम्युनिटी मील होगा. एक साथ बच्चे आएंगे, वीकेंड्स में मैचेस खेलेंगे, शाम को मैचेस खेलेंगे और वापस जाएंगे. इसमें कोई कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व नहीं था क्योंकि खाना हर कोई अरेंज कर सकता था, लेकिन देयर वाज अ ट्रैवलिंग कॉस्ट टू इट. देयर वाज उन बच्चे को एक किट पहनाना है. सो दैट्स हाउ आई अप्रोच माय फ्रेंड्स की अडॉप्ट ए टीम. जैसा आईपीएल टीम अडॉप्ट करता है तो हमारे गांव के टीम अडॉप्ट करो, मतलब only 12,000 rupees देके. In this 12,000 rupees, we are giving them kit, we are considering their traveling expenses, and that's how this league came in. And last year when we organized the Brahmaputra Volleyball League, there were 50 teams from around 16 districts. Around 400 children participated. Times of India, Hindustan Times, Indian Express, everybody covered our league because of its community angle. But this year when we reach out to our people, the league is growing bigger and bigger. It's now, it has become so bigger, like they wanted that it should grow beyond 16 years of age. Abhi 18 years or 19 years ke bacche kahan khelenge? So we started the league for under 16 as well as under 21. This league is going to be launched in the month of November, and 204 teams from 93 villages across 28 districts of Assam will be participating in this. And this league will be played from November to February. 4 months, weekends में matches होंगे. और ये team सबको adopt कर रहे हैं well wishers. Aparna Papat, who is an two-time Olympian Arjun awardee, Monalisa Vaido, Krishna Vyam, everyone from my friends from across the world, they are supporting, adopting the team with 12,000 rupees. इस 12,000 rupees में हम लोग उनको kit देंगे, kit bag देंगे, एक हाइजीन किट होगा, विमेन लड़कियों का टीम को सैनिटरी नैपकिन भी दिया जाएगा. Everything is covered under this, and each village team will go to other village team. ये community movement है, community is taking the ownership. There is no organizing committee, no corporate sponsor involved with it. Everything has been done by the community. So this is how the league is growing, and we are requesting everyone, and through this platform, I would also request Sanjay Krishna sir, Molai Vora sir, and everyone present here to be in our league during the inauguration on 7th, or otherwise in any village, you go to any district, there will be one match going on the weekend. So last time when I was approaching to showcase this league on an online platform, तो वो लोग मुझे पूछ रहे थे कि अभिजीत ये तो बहुत छोटा grassroots league है, ये कैसे हम लोग broadcast करके इसको क्या फायदा मिलेगा? So I told them, look, 50 villages, there will be 50 match on a weekend across 28 districts, maybe in 50 villages. हर गांव में 1000 लोग इस मैच को देखेगा. इसके मतलब 50,000 लोग इस मैच को ब्रह्मपुत्र वॉलीबॉल लीग को एक वीकेंड में देखेंगे. So that's how they are now agreeing to it. So probably this league will be highlighted in a online platform, जिसको live हर कोई देख पाएंगे. Community is evolving, and last year since the matches were held on weekends, the last time I was like on a Sunday, when I woke up, I got a message, photograph of Monumoy T State team getting ready to play away match in Naukosari. So that was the moment I felt like कि पहली बार ये 90% जो चिल्ड्रन है अपने गांव से पहली बार जा रहा है बाहर, और वो भी वॉलीबॉल खेलने के लिए, केवल वॉलीबॉल के कारण से. तो मोनुमोय टी स्टेट का टीम जब बाहर जा रहा था पहली बार खेलने के लिए, इनको कभी वॉलीबॉल देखा नहीं. लॉकडाउन के टाइम में दे लर्न वॉलीबॉल थ्रू ऑनलाइन मीडियम, कपड़े के बॉल से दे फॉर्म ए टीम. उस गांव का पूरा एनवायरनमेंट चेंज हो गया. अभी वो लोग होस्ट कर रहा है इवेंट, खाना बना रहा है, और अवे मैचेस भी खेलने के लिए जा रहा है. So that's how the leadership, the teammanship, the organizing capacity, everything, decision making is coming, spreading through these villages, through these children, through the Brahmaputra Volleyball League. I have a small presentation. If you allow, I will just run down in 2 minutes. Is it okay?
I think your presentation has been, it's going on.
I hope it's visible.
Mm-hmm.
I will just run down. This is actually pioneering grassroots volleyball league. It has never happened anywhere across the world probably. गांव के बच्चे होम एंड अवे फॉर्मेट में एक लीग खेल रहा है जहां पे 207 टीम्स है. So this is our mission basically. हर बच्चों का जो growing up है, जिसको कुछ भी खेलने को नहीं मिल रहा है, जिसको क्रिकेट नहीं मिल रहा है, टेनिस के लिए रैकेट नहीं मिल रहा है, बैडमिंटन नहीं मिल रहा है, आओ वॉलीबॉल खेलो. And it could be an incubating center to produce world-class sportsmen. This is how it is owned by the community. लोग मिलके खाना बनाते हैं, एक गांव की टीम दूसरे गांव जाते हैं, they are given prizes, and that's how the community is engaged. And since it is owned by community, Molai Vora sir told it's about the sustainability. The sustainability is guaranteed in this model because we are not paying them anything. They are taking the ownership, and they know it's important, and they are going forward. So this is all about the league. I have already told. Last year it was like 144 matches were organized, 9,800 community meals were served. So we cannot calculate even the budget for this league. This is how the media actually appreciated our effort. Even Times of India, the national edition, gave us front page coverage. The Delhi Times of India Sunday edition gave us front page coverage because of the community angle to it. This is the season 2 highlights. It is expected to reach to 20 million eyeballs. Around 24,450 community meals will be served this time. 28 district covered, 1,500 volunteers. None of the organizers are paid. All are volunteers. 2,163 players will be playing. 207 teams. 5 lakhs audience, live audience, who will be watching these matches live. So that's how the format of how it will be in the district level, then in the zonal level, and then finally in the Super League, which will help in Dibrugarh. This is the difference. If the growth is like around 400, 200% in every category of the game, season 1 and season 2. These are the people who have actually contributed to the league. They have adopted teams by spending 12,000 rupees. And some has contributed for food, some has contributed for vegetables. These are the people who made this happen actually. And we are asking for this year also, we are asking for 12,000 to adopt a team. मेरे आज भी मेरा कुछ फ्रेंड्स यूएसए कॉल कर रहे थे, तो बोल रहे थे कि हाउ डू यू मैनेज इन 12,000 रुपीज? ये 12,000 है कि 1,20,000 होना चाहिए? बोला नहीं, 12,000 है, इनको बच्चे को किट भी मिलेगा, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन भी होगा, बैग भी मिलेगा, सब खाना भी खाएंगे, सब कुछ इसी के अंदर होगा. So that's how we are managing this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you. That was a lovely presentation. You have shared a lot of personal experiences over the years. Your journey was very challenging, no doubt, but very satisfying. That is the most important part. And as a sister also, I feel proud to say Abhijit, actually is my cousin brother. We belong to a family of sports person, and sports runs in our blood. And that is probably why we collaborated to work amongst the T community people also. And this year also, our teams from the T community are going to participate, and they're practicing rigorously to join in the second league match. So he is a person, I'm not biased. He walks the talk. That's the most important thing. And as he says, that it is not academics alone that can take you to heights. Your other things can definitely help in the process and take you to greater heights too. And in the same time, you are doing a lot of community work. You are helping to bring the backward, marginalized section forward. And that is the most important thing. And that leads to rural development. So thank you so much, Abhijit. Thank you once again. And now our fourth invited speaker is Mr. Digonto Buragohain. Are you there, Digonto? Hello? Hello? Digonto, are you there? If he's not there, we'll move on to our first special invitee. If he comes in, he can join later on.
That will be better.
So our first invited speaker is Professor J.P. Verma, Vice Chancellor of Sri Sri Aniruddha Deva Sports University of Assam. And Professor Verma has an experience of over 38 years as a faculty at Lakshmi Bai National Institute of Physical Education, Deemed University, Gwalior. He has served as the in-charge Vice Chancellor of LNIPE for about 11 months during 2014-15. He has also served the institute in the capacity of Head Department of Sports Psychology, Dean Students Welfare, Director Center for Advanced Studies, Member Board of Management, OSD, and Head Computer Center over various teams. Professor Verma did his PhD in the area of sports genetics under the Department of Mathematics of Jiwaji University in 1991. Professor Verma also did his master's in statistics, psychology, and computer application. He has various research papers and articles on sports physical education to his credit, and he has also published 11 books, and few of them have been adopted by the department of many foreign universities as a part of their curriculum. He has completed major research projects on talent identification in sports in the country, funded by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. He has also a patent to his credit on Fitness Watch. Now, without wasting time, I would like to request Professor J.P. Verma to take over the mic. Hello. Hello, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You're audible.
Respected Krishna sir, Mr. Malay Boraji, all the dignitaries in this webinar, organizers and the audience, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great pleasure for me when I got a call from Professor Nilima that I have to speak something in the area of sports and physical education. I was a little worried what exactly you want me to speak. So I was asking Professor Bhattacharya, what is the agenda? So she says the title is the agenda. I said, no issue. So in fact, when I saw this agenda, it was written that I have to speak something on physical education, development of physical education and sports. Of course, this is my domain area. For the last many years, I'm working in this area. So I had an opportunity, brief opportunity, to meet Shri Kumar Sanjay Krishnaji when he was on the chair, and I had a discussion about this university. And to Shri Mr. Malay Bora, I've been interacting with him for the last 1 year. And as he said, he's a good friend of mine, of course. We share a lot of things, how this sport should go about in Assam. So today, I'll just give you some of my thoughts and what are the various issues in the development of physical education and the sports in the country, with a special reference to the Assam. What are the things which we can do, and what are our planning, how this sports university is going to help or to change the whole scenario in the Assam particular and the country in general. These are the few things which I have framed for today's session. Now you can see many of the states are coming forward for developing the sports universities. And now the people are very much aware of, very much aware of the physical education importance all across the world. Everybody is so much, into it, how to develop the physical education and the sports. So when I go into the genesis of the issue, I found one thing, that if I simply ask a question, how a country can be more prosperous? A very simple reason is, a country can be more prosperous only when its citizens are more productive. And how a citizen can be more productive? They can be more productive when they are more active. So this is the basic things why most of the governments and most of the state governments and all over the world, people are after the physical education and the sports. It's a gaining momentum. And therefore, the key area is we have to develop an active society. Now, when we talk about the active society, I think we have to take both the areas, physical education and the sports, in a very professional manner. Now, why it is so? Because the physical activity is a huge public health lever, which we have not tapped so far. And therefore, we have a huge opportunity that if we can enhance the activity level of our society, I think we are the gainers. Now, all of you are aware of that inactivity, physical inactivity leads to very high disease burden and a lot of health costs to any of the country. In US, I was just talking to one of the professor there. I said, which course is very popular in your country? They say in our country, the exercise science is very popular. And I said, who are the takers? Those who does the exercise science master degree, who are the takers? They say the industry is the takers. Now, why industry is the taker? They say somebody who is joining the physical activity program or the exercise program in the industry, the premium for insurance is low. So this is the kind of incentives that people are getting. And why the industry is encouraging the fitness and the sports in their own premises, because this is how they can improve their productivity. And therefore, this area is totally virgin in our country. So I'll be speaking something about these aspects also, later part of my discussion. Now, if you look into the current scenario, the WHO says that the $67.5 billion is spent on the global healthcare expenditure. Now, this is all because of the physical inactivity. And that is why the WHO is very, very keen to how to make the whole society as a very active society. You will be surprised to note that in one of the report, he says 80% of the school adolescents in the age of 11 to 17 years were insufficiently physically active. This is a very alarming feature. And because the physical inactivity is the fourth major leading risk factor for the global mortality. Now, if you look at the Indian scenario, people are not active enough worldwide. Yes, of course, it's true, but Indians even less so. In one of the ICMR research report, they say 54% people were found inactive. So this is the current status of our country. And now, if you look at the culture of the two best sporting country in the world, the USA and the China. Now, if you look at their sports policy, in USA, around 90% people are into the structured sports. That means the sports is compulsory part of their life. Even the schools, my brother is also staying there. He has taken a citizenship. He has the two children. And they used to play, one of them used to play basketball in the school. Another one used to play, judo. Then they used to encourage the parents also to come and coach the students. This is how they involve the parents also into the sports. So that means there is a structured sports scenario in the country. So 90% people are playing sports in a very structured. Look at another country, China. What they do is they are focusing on the elite sports. I mean, they identify the children in a very scientific manner, and then they put into some of the academies. And now in India also, we have a lot of good academies. So they are focusing on the elite sports. So these two culture, different culture, USA and the China. And the India, if you look at the Indian policy, sports policy, it has amalgamation of both. So as far as the sports policy of our country is concerned, it is one of the best policy in the whole world. The only thing is that we need to implement it nicely. Now, I always feel that if you have to develop an active society, you have to target the children. Because when I was in a school, when my teacher, my teacher used to say something, still I carry forward. I believe that no, whatever she has said is perfect. So with this idea, in 1990, a thought came to my mind. I can ask the same question today also. Then why don't you come for the physical activity in the morning? If you ask this question to a general public, the answer is very simple. He'll say, why should I come for the physical activity in the morning? I am perfectly fine. I don't have any problem. I get up in the morning, take a nice breakfast, take a lunch, and go for a nice dinner. I don't have a problem. So only the problem comes only at the age of after 30. Now you see, most of the people after 30 is taking some or other drugs. It's only because of we are physically inactive. So this idea came to my mind in 1990, and it took me around 10 years' time to develop some kind of a yardstick to let the people know how fit you are. And that is how the fitness watch, my patented work, was developed in 10 years time frame. What basically a fitness watch is, suppose you come to my laboratory and within 25 minutes, I will let you know what are the status of your 5 basic functional parameters. Now, look at the 5 basic functional parameters. One of the parameters is your cardiorespiratory endurance. In a very simple term, if I speak, it is nothing but lung capacity and the heart capacity. The second is the muscular endurance, that how much repetitive work you can do continuously. Third is the muscular strength, how much strength you have in the body. The fourth is how much is the fat you have in the body. And the fifth is your flexibility. So if your status on these 5 parameters are on a good side, then you will never feel you're tired throughout the day. The kind of zeal you have in the morning, 8 o'clock, the same bigger you'll have at 12 o'clock at night. So you have to maintain these 5 parameters. So with this concept, I developed a fitness watch, and my focus was that I should develop this fitness watch only for school children. Because once it is inculcated in their habit, they will carry out throughout their life. So then the first project was developed in 2000, and then second was developed in 2004, and finally the project got approved in 2007 by the Government of India, and it is ready for implementation. So luckily I got the chance here to come in Assam. Now I was talking to our Honorable Chief Minister last time. They said, we would like to implement this fitness watch, and we would like to start from the Assam, so that this fitness watch can be implemented in the entire school system of the Assam. What basically it is, that suppose if we implement the system in a school, each child will be tested on the 5 parameters, and he will be given some kind of a scoring. And there are 3 zones: healthy fitness zone, need improvement zone, and excellent zone. So we encourage all the child to be in a healthy fitness zone. And every child will get index, fitness index, and index on each parameter. And once it is implemented in a school will get a fitness index. So by looking to the fitness index of all the schools, you can come to know which school is more fit. And this is how a healthy competition starts. So when you apply this, you can always identify who is the best fit child into 7 to 10 age category, who is the best fit child, girl and boy, in the 11 to 14 age category, and 15 onward, and who is the best fit child in the whole school. So this is how society can be encouraged, and the parents can come forward, and something is there for them. So this program we developed just to have this mind that we have to change the mindset of our own people right from the very grassroots. And in case if some of you are interested to see what the fitness watch is all about, you just search on the website Fitness Watch by JP Verma. So you'll get all the slides, and then we can discuss more maybe later on. Now, as the topic of the discussion goes, the physical education and the sports, development of physical education and sports. Now, both are complementary to each other. Physical education is the basis for each and every sports. And sports is complementing the physical education. So we have a different kind of a challenges in the whole scenario. Physical education, teachers are there, sports coaches are there, and how they work in a synergy, how these are complementing each other. So we will discuss these aspects further. Now, if you see the status of physical education in our own country, what is happening is in different schools, we have a lack of very qualified teachers. We have inadequate inspections. And the perception of physical education teacher in a school is just like is a fun activity. And the physical education as a subject is considered to be inferior than any academic subject. And most of the schools, they do not have even physical education teachers as well. So this leads to a minimal provisions in the curriculum of the schools. So this is the status of physical education in our country, most of the states. Now, if you see the current status of physical education, nowhere it is written it is a inferior subject than any other subject. But legally, it is same. But actual situation is something different. Physical education and sports is merely treated as a recreation. As Krishna sir was telling, the physical education teacher used to be considered as a PTI, and he used to be considered for maintaining discipline. But now it has changed a lot. Physical education has become very, very scientific subjects. And the third point is the lack of commitment from the teacher, especially the physical education teacher to the society. And the mostly our parents also, they do not encourage their children to go and develop a career in the area of sports and physical education. Let me share one of the my experience when I implemented the fitness watch in one of the school, in the India school, what I could find was up to 11-year age category, the children's fitness was very good. But 11 onward or 12 onward, their fitness deteriorated. When we inquired the whole region, looking to the data set, what we could find was that 9th onward, the parents, they stopped playing, encouraging them to play sports. They're all hostlers, and they are mainly concentrating on their academics. So this is the whole scenario. The second startling feature was the flexibility of Indians were very good. But in general, otherwise, the flexibility of Indian population is very good in comparison to other. The third feature is their cardio is very good, but their muscular strength and the muscular endurance is very poor. Because in nowhere in school, the specific training is given for developing the muscular strength and the muscular endurance. They give the ball, they say you run. So when they run, children run, what happens is their cardio improves. But the specific regimen has to be given for improving the muscular endurance and muscular strength. These are some of the findings which I wanted to share. Now, if you see what are the various issues, why the physical education is not gaining momentum in of the different schools, and why the sports is not being encouraged in many other states. Of course, Assam, I'm very, very happy that a lot of infrastructure is being developed. And this is basically, a candidate for becoming a sporting state. Because here, the sports is in the blood of the people. Only thing is that we have to give some scientific basis to it. So one of the reason is some of the sports like tennis and swimming, it requires a lot of finances and all, shortage of equipments are there. Even if some stadiums are there, then the another issue is the maintenance. Maintenance is the big issue. And we give more physical education time to the lower class, but then when it comes to the higher category, like 9th, 10th, 11th, very less time is given to the physical education. So this is the various issues of physical education. Then manpower is an issue. And whosoever is the physical education teacher, they get a less salary. Their salary structure is very not comparable to the other kind of a teacher. They do not get the recognition in comparison to other kind of teacher. These are the few problems. Now the social angles are that girls are discouraged from being unfeminine. And but now the scenario is changing. As Malay Bora sir was telling, our Honorable Chancellor has started a program for volleyball for women. And I had a discussion with him recently, last month. So we proposed one model that, sir, can we take this project into PPP mode? In the PPP mode, he was very happy to see this project. I said, your vision is that all the girls should play volleyball in the entire state. But if it can be with the public participation, and then I think it will catch up like anything. He said, what is the plan? I said, we can develop 2-3 models. One model is we can develop a play field area of volleyball in 50,000 rupees. Another is 1 lakh rupees. Another is 1.5 lakhs rupees. The three models are there. And if you go to a corporate like State Bank or LIC or other Geo, he say, would you like to sponsor one particular spot in a village? And we will put your banner that is sponsored by so and so. So he was so happy. He said, "No, let me go through it, and then we will come back to this." So in case if public-private partnership is there, probably the sports can take a lot of focus. Then another is the minimal provision for disabled students in India. I mean, we have to give a lot of emphasis on this aspect. And due to now recent Paralympic, situation, Paralympic medals which we got, I think the scenario is changing. But other countries are very, very sensitive about adaptive physical education. And that is why this is one of the key areas in our university that we are developing for special children, the physical education. Now, another challenge is how to motivate people to be in active society. So when I discussed about my plan, my vision about my university, I said the university will work on the 4 verticals. The first vertical is, of course, it is meant for teaching and the research. So we would like to take the teaching and research at the very highest level, so that we should not prepare the students only for Assam or only for India. We should prepare the students for the world scenario. So if we have a curriculum comparable to the world universities, then sky is the limit for getting a job and so on. So this is the first vertical of my university. And I think every university, the purpose is the knowledge creation. Probably there is some confusion among the audience and other kind of people. The sports university is meant for producing the sports persons. And unfortunately, it is not. But then you can always argue why the China's universities are producing the Olympians, why the Korean universities are producing Olympians. They have a different models. And therefore, what we are projecting here is a different model. University will never produce a sports person. University will produce the knowledge which are required for enhancing the sport performance. But then the question is how the university will produce the Olympians. Well, whenever the university, like this sports university in Assam, is developed in different states, the infrastructure is created of international standard. And if you look at the uses of the infrastructure by the students in the curriculum, it is only used 3 to 4 hours or 5 hours. Remaining 19 hours, the infrastructure is free. And then there is a model, the teaching and the club. So the second, my verticals is that this university will have a different kind of a specified clubs, very elite kind of clubs. Now, the question is from where these elite students will come. So the third vertical is that we will focus on nursery, sports nursery. In my university, when I was in Gwalior, in the summer, what we used to do is we used to open a 6-week training program in different sports, around 25 sports. And around 3,000 students used to participate in 6-week program. And along with the 3,000 students, 3,000 parents also used to join. So we used to give a free program for the parents also to be engaged. So 6,000 people used to be there in the campus for 6 weeks. Once the students play different sports, right, from 7 years onward, and maybe after 1 or 2 or 3 years after playing, maybe 8 years or 9 years, then they can give some kind of a test that you would like to join the academy. When they join the academy, their progress is monitored for the whole year. And after the academy, then they can be shifted to our elite sports. So this is the model which we are projecting for our university, that there will be a sports nursery for the sports children. I mean, the local talent, we can nurture the local talent, and we can see that their talents are grown and they can come up for higher coaching program in our elite sports club. The third is the elite training, and the fourth part, which is very important, is how to join, how to encourage the community to be active. And therefore, we are planning some program for the community sports. So these are the few areas. This is how we can motivate our society. Next is the building environment in the campus. So as you very rightly said, Mr. Abhijit, that the people participation is must. If you feel that everything government will do, I think that will not be very successful. Government will help you out, but ultimately there should be a people participation. So an environment has to be created, and then things will automatically grow. The third challenge is that we have to use the technology. The way he has used for conducting the leaks, probably we have to use the technology. And so in this connection, right now we do not have any expertise because it's a new university and we have not even recruited the people. So what very first thing what we did was we signed the MOU with the InflipNet, the government organization of the UGC, and they said we will develop all kind of IT infrastructure, IT solutions for you. Because what we are planning is this university should be a paperless office, maybe in the years to come. So right as of now, we have a very good portal and 3-4 modules have already been developed and some modules are in progress. So maybe in 3 years time frame, around 70 to 80% modules will be on place, and maybe in the future, maybe after 5 to 6 years, we are planning for the paperless office. The next is the innovative pedagogy. I'm the firm believer that pedagogy is such an important issue. This is my experience that by simply changing the pedagogy, I can teach anything to anyone. And therefore, the people should keep on thinking how the pedagogy should be improved. So this is another very key area. And I have been dealing PhD scholars in physical education and sports science in the country. And I have seen the students, those who come for the PhD program, master degree program, or the bachelor degree program in physical education, they were just mediocre. But due to the change in the pedagogy, we were able to change the entire structure. The total renovation were there. I mean, they become like elite class of researchers. So the pedagogy is a very important challenge, and I think we have to work on this area. How to teach the sports and physical education in society. Then third part is the teacher should not only be teaching in this classes or the school, they should be a mentor of the students. And so in my university, what we are planning is every child will have a mentor in the form of a teacher. So long this child is going to be in the university for 3 years or 5 years, there will be one mentor continuously associated with him. This is how the social and the physical and emotional problem can be taken. So this is very important, especially in the area of physical education. Now, if I have to start a proactive approach, what we should do as a government side and or as a policymaker side, what we intend to do. We intend to make physical education as a compulsory subject in school. And I think in the new education policy, it has been made compulsory, comparable to the other subject. It is no longer a leisure sports or leisure subjects. Second is physical education as an optional subject in college education. In most of the states like UP and the Madhya Pradesh, they have made the physical education as one of the subject in the undergraduate. And therefore, if it is done in our Assam state also, probably the physical education can be motivated or spread in the entire area. Then in different departments, there should be different university, there should be a full-fledged department of physical education. In Assam, I've seen out of 17 university, I think only Dibrugarh University is having one department that is also center. And so I just requested all these vice chancellors, in case if you're planning to have the Department of Physical Education, I will give you active support in developing all the departments. So you should take up this part. Now the sports university is in place, so it will work as a nodal agency for all the universities in Assam. So in case if any one of you are interested to develop this kind of a department, physical education sports, we are all there to help. And the most important part in the whole country is the uniformity of nomenclature of courses and syllabi in physical education and sports program. Now, if you look at through the current situation, some of the programs are known as the BSc Physical Education. Some of the programs are known as BPEd. Some of the programs are a BPEd integrated program. Some of the programs are BSc Physical Education. So there are a lot of differences and changes. So what we are, propagating is that there should be a uniformity of nomenclature of the courses. Of course, I have made something in this aspect, but I think this is not the correct forum. So this uniformity of courses is very, very important. I have prepared a brief document. I have sent it to the UGC. I have sent it to the NCT as well. And probably this can be taken up from this platform. Probably it can be a big achievement. From the Aniruddha Sports University, we have made a 4-year program under the new education policy. We call it a BPEd honors 4-year program with multiple exit options. That if you do 1 year, you'll get a certificate. If you do 2 years, you'll get diploma. If you do 3 years, you'll get plain graduation. If you do 4 years, you'll get graduation plus research degree, thesis. But in case if you are interested to go into the school teaching, then after the 3 years program, 4th year, you can go for a BPEd program. So it can be a bifocal in the undergraduate program. Now, if you do 3 years program and plus 1 year coaching, then you are eligible for going for master degree in sports coaching. And if you go for the BPEd honors program, then you'll have a 1 year MPEd program honors degree. So this is the structure we have prepared, and we have sent it to the NCT that look, this university has taken a lead. And in case if you discuss with all the stakeholders, probably we can have uniformity. Then some more professional approach, what we can do is how to create a sporting environment. So for creating a sporting environment, we have to go for the community sports. And in this aspect, we have prepared a 1 semester program for training those people, those who are giving training in the community in different sports. Their background is not very scientific, so we will bring them into our university, and we'll give them 6 months or maybe 3 months, and maybe for 1 month some inputs about the yoga and the IT applications, how to use the IT applications, the various kind of rules, positions in different sports, the coaching aspects, the physiological aspects, the biomechanical aspects, sports psychologists, a little bit, so that the person who is coaching in community, he should be well aware of this. So we have planned out something like this, how to inculcate or encourage the community sports, so that the people participation can be there. Next is the corporate fitness. We have made a diploma of corporate fitness, and our talk is on with Central University Haryana, that can we have a joint program, because as of now, we do not have an infrastructure and we do not have a faculty. So maybe shortly we will be having infrastructure after 2 years time frame when we have our own campus. But in the meantime, once we have our own faculty in place, then probably we can start corporate fitness in our own campus. As of now, we are thinking to develop this kind of program in collaboration with some other universities. And lastly, one of the most exciting project which I'm thinking is, there are so many parks available in different cities. Can it be converted into a fitness park? And again, this fitness park can be in the PPP mode. If a fitness park can be developed, so I'm contacting some of the corporate, then let us work out 1 or 2 model fitness park, and once this model is success or all the time frame is developed, then we can elaborate this fitness park in the district of Assam. So these are the few my ideas how we should go about in improving the physical education and the sports in our state. And many more thoughts I'll be sharing. And I always feel that anything sports, if you wish to do, it should be in collaboration with the sports university. This is sports university belongs to you all. You are all a part and parcel of the sports university. I am here for some time to develop basic fundamental base, and I think which can be useful for the society. So you all are welcome. Whenever you visit this site, be our guests, do visit us. And in case if you want to plan any physical activity, courses or programs or sports activity in Dibrugarh, we are all there to collaborate you. And in fact, if you want to do something in Dibrugarh, then we should be a key partner of this. So with these few words, once again, I thanks the organizer for giving me this opportunity to express my ideas and the views and share my views. Of course, it's always good to participate in such program because I have learned many things from the audience, speakers, whenever I attend this conference. So in this webinar also, I think new ideas, which all my earlier speakers have spoken, I think we will add up those ideas and we will see how it can be incorporated in our university. So with these few words, once again, I congratulate and thanks to the organizer for conducting such a thematic webinar and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Archana ma'am, you're muted.
Archana, yours is muted, please. It's muted.
Okay. So thank you so much, Professor Verma. Your speech was really very informative and an eye-opener. You have given us a lot of information also about the sports university and about the different courses and the programs that you are running there. So I'm sure all our participants and others too who are listening to YouTube and Facebook Live will be benefited from it. We look forward to your support in the distant future too. So thank you. Thank you once again. Our last speaker, invited speaker is Professor S.P. Singh. And he is actually the Vice Chancellor of Royal Global University. He joined the Royal Group of Institutions, Guwahati, as the founder director and worked with the group for a period of 5 years. He joined MET Education Group as the Senior Vice President and was responsible for academic administration in MET universities across the country. And he joined Assam Royal Global University in 2016. Professor Singh is deeply involved in sports, and he has and also in cultural and social activities since his college days. And he has also represented his universities at different levels of sporting activities. And so now I invite Professor Singh to deliver his speech. Thank you.
Thank you so
Over to
much, Dr. Na. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Dr. Archana, for your introduction. And thank you, Dr. Nilima Bhagwati, for giving me a chance to speak on this occasion on a webinar on a very pertinent topic. Very, very important, my fellow speakers today, the keynote address being given by Kumar Sanjay Krishnaji, and he's continuously attending from last almost 2.5 hours. I know we are in the last leg and everybody's eager to finish off. So I'll also try to do justice to the time and slotted to me is 15 minutes. I'll try to conclude before that. Shri Malay Boraji, Bhargav Dev Chaudhary, Abhijit Bhattacharya, excellent work you are doing. And JP Vermaji, I was listening to you very patiently. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Shri Aniruddha Dev University in Dibrugarh. I frequently come to Dibrugarh to attend the Executive Council meeting. Next time I'm there, without your invitation, I will come and visit your university.
Sure.
And yeah, I know you can't say no to me. Thank you so much. So I'm a sports enthusiast. Anything happening in the sports around, I will go back to the initial discourse of Sanjay Krishnaji when he said that whatever learning he had on the sports ground is always very, very handy or helpful for him in his journey. And also, sports is very close to his heart. Sanjay ji, I'm also Sanjay Pratap Singh. I must tell you that sports is also very close to my heart. In my life, never ever in my life I stopped playing. It was 12 years continuous, 3 hours per day. From 1984 to 1996, I was on the sports ground. And after leaving that, I was coach of the University of Lucknow for baseball team. And I've taken the inter-university tournament team to Chandigarh and Punjab University. So, and even after coming to Assam, I participated and became the technical director for Assam Baseball Association for a very long time, till the time some conflict started between two groups and I stopped going to that particular. Sports, by and large, is in my heart. And we at Royal Global University are always very, very enthusiastic and eager to perform that. Before I share the screen, Archana ji will help me in doing that. I wanted to say that
Santosh, Santosh, will you
yeah,
please
before I come to the presentation part, yeah, somebody can start my presentation.
Yeah,
we'll come to that in 5 minutes. So before I come to my presentation part, because the presentation has been done keeping in mind only two parts, sports and holistic development. I have not included physical education there. Because for me, I may be right or wrong. There are stalwarts sitting here, they can differentiate. Physical education is an aid to sports and the complementary part of the sports. But as far as the definition of sports, what I read and what is the old French discourse about the sport, it means leisure. Anything you do for leisure and that involves physical activities is called sport. So that is the definition I read from wherever it is possible. So I will stick myself to the sports, and the topic today is sports for holistic development. Because the new national education policy implemented in July 2020 also had talked about in 11.3 the holistic development of individuals studying in 1,080 universities of this country. Out of this 1,080 universities of this country, I think sports universities, if I start from Lakshmi Bai to the latest one, maybe this Shri Shri Anuruddhadev University, and the older one, the Tamil Nadu Physical Education. We have 7 eminent universities in the sports. As Professor Verma said, these sports universities are not only for physical education and sports, but our mindset always goes whenever I talk to Professor Rana in Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. Is a good friend of mine, Vice Chancellor there. And today I'm interacting with Professor Verma. I always have this opinion that definitely it may be for all the courses, but mainly for sports related and physical activity related. The main pedestal of these universities in our minds are sports and physical education. That may be China, that may be America, that may be Japan, that may be any country in the world. A sports university is expected to produce a better sportsman and represent. Recently, when this Tokyo 2020 Olympics started, and we got a news and we were thrilled and mesmerized that out of total contingent, half of it, or maybe almost 1/3 of it, 11 of the contingent were from lovely professional university. How they have done it, how they are doing it, I'm not raising any question on that. And I have done a great research on that, but I have found that many people, many important people from there, they have participated in national tournament, Olympics. Out of that, 7 hockey players, including the captain Manpreet Singh. Also the javelin, Neeraj Chopra, he was doing BA there, though he's from Army, maybe doing a correspondence course from there. Bajrang Punia and Amoj, Jacob, all these people, and one from Paralympic, Nishad Kumar, these 12 from lovely professional university representing India in the Olympics. So that is the way. I think, I'm not sure that number of students they have is huge. The capacity is 660 acres of campus. Maybe private universities in due course of time will be able to do special with respect to representing people in Olympics and other places in the country and the world. So that is another part. So I will restrict my presentation and everything basically leading to the sports culture in the universities, not the sports universities. I'm talking specifically the institution, as Professor Verma said, and I also believe for knowledge creation. We are here for the knowledge creation, not only the field of sports, in every field we are working. Also, not knowledge creation, also the intellectual capital and intellectual assets from Harvard to Stanford and from any university I know, from MIT, wherever I work. It is basically, we are running for intellectual capital creation. But in the name of intellectual capital creation, probably the importance of sports becomes very, very minimal. And when we create intellectual capital, probably we do not give due diligence to something which is very important intellectually, that is sports. And therefore, if you see NIRF ranking, you see NAC accreditation, everywhere, the value or the quantum of points which have been allocated to sports in the university campus is very, very minimal. And therefore, recently in AIU, Association of Indian Universities, we are having a team working on that to request NIRF ranking modules and NAC accreditation body to implement and incorporate holistic education as a main emphasis than to only creation of intellectual capital in the name of research papers and publication. That is also very, very important, but that do not bring all that we are discussing today. That what I'm observing in the universities where I worked as a vice chancellor of MNT University Raipur and also vice chancellor here, and earlier my association with other institutions in the country, including Lucknow University and Sherwood College, it is very, very difficult to bring a student on the sports platform if you want to do it. In Royal Global University, when we launched the university in 2017, we started compulsory physical education classes for every child, 2 periods of 2 hours per week. And you won't believe it, hardly 50 or 40% students continue doing that with enthusiasm. Otherwise, it became a routine thing for the student and the physical instructors we have appointed. Because society, by and large, and universities, by and large, are running for success, which is not a sports, are running for success, which is salary, which is basically a profession, which gives them a suitable position in the corporate world or in the government sector, or of a long life stability for their life. That is where sports always best. My friends who used to play sports far better than me in my life, they are successful, but not to the extent they should have been. I'm repeating, not to the extent they should have been. So therefore, sports have not been considered a great success-oriented profession. And therefore, in India, still we do not have that kind of environment as we have in other countries, including China, Japan, United States of America, and UK. I think I was just browsing out the obesity, and obesity in India is hardly any. We are 4th from the bottom at the 2021 obesity list. We have 3.06. With America, 36.6% population is obese. If I talk about other countries, I mean, there are countries with 61% obesity. We are malnourished country, and we have a lot of poverty in this country. Therefore, the overall situation is not that bad. But once we count the number of people obese, maybe we outcast, United States of America or United Kingdom or other countries. So therefore, we have to be very careful. So I will take another 5 to 7 minutes, because whatever there is in the slides, almost everything has been covered, and I'm just watching the time. I have another 7 minutes left, so I will complete in that. So my PPT has been shared, I suppose.
You are the co-host. You can share. You can share from your end also, or he can share. Santosh, can you share it from your side? Hello, Santosh?
Yes, ma'am, it can be shared.
Yeah, please do
from
so.
my end also.
Yes, that is what he wants.
Okay.
Requested from your end only. Thank you, please. In between, I request. Yeah, thank you so much, Gracia Technologies and CTEF Assam for giving me a chance to speak on this occasion. It has not been shared so far. I will continue like that. I hope in between it will be shared. So my first slides talk about importance of sports in India and government initiative. If I talk about importance of sports in India, I wanted to share that we have the youngest population in this world, and we have almost 15 to 29 years of students are 20, people are 27.5% of the total population. So we are going to be superpower only when we have fit India and also successful India, and also India with a lot of intellectual capital. So this is one part. Second is government of India has actually have done a lot of work in the sports, starting from in 1957, if I'm not wrong, Dr. Verma, this Lakshmi Bai institution has come up in 1957, And then it has been converted into deemed to be universities in later on courses. So from 1957, and then I know NIS Patiala, then also many other institutions, sports college in Lucknow, from where I belong, everything has come up, and there are a lot of facilities available for sports, and especially sports activities in this country, but not to the extent the country's population is, and not to the extent we have grown up in terms of the total population from 30 crores to 3.3 billion to 1.3 billion in so many years in due course of time. So that is something which is to be looked into. Holistic education, I go to the slide number 2. Holistic development essentially means the development of intellectual, mental, physical, emotional, and social abilities. So the topic says holistic development. And in NEP also, if you see, in NEP also, holistic development also means that the person should know Chaussat Kalas, which Lord Krishna has learned in the Katyayani ashram in Madhya Pradesh, and also that has been discussed there in 11.3. And we also feel in education, even if we produce best of the engineers, best of the medical professionals, best of the managers, if the holistic personality is not there, they are not that successful in life. They may be successful for some time in particular career. So therefore, there's a very, very important connect between holistic development and sports by and large. I think I will discuss in due course of time. Next slide, please. So there I'm just quickly doing it because I've been asked to present slides. So I have made slides for all of you. And you say social, spiritual, mental, emotional, and other physical activities are being done in holistic education. So this is, come to the next slide. This is, I was referring to 11.3 of a national education policy, which all of we are going to implement. Next slide, please. Role of sports in holistic education. If you see, we used to hear one thing. I remember in my young days, I was being always stopped not to play. I'm telling you honestly today and confessing in front of you, in my family, it was all padhoge, likhoge to banoge nawab, kheloge, kudoge to banoge kharab. And that was 35 years back. And we have grown up with that kind of doha or maybe a share from the very beginning in the city of Lucknow. And we were always being asked not to go and play, not to waste our time in playing outside, and not to go and play any of the sports, and but to study more hours and become successful. Become successful, you know, in India means become either a civil servant or become an engineer or become a doctor or become something which is probably the success mantra of this country is, but never for the sports. And I remember it was very, very difficult for me and my younger brother to hide ourselves and go and tell that we are going for playing, tell that we are going to tell that we are going for studies, tell that we are going to play to watch a movie. And we used to bunk and we used to go and used to play football or baseball on the baseball grounds and football grounds. So this is what my journey as a young boy was. And from then I remember, and I never stopped my children to play. And they are also right now watching Manchester United, good fan of football, and they play football very well. I'm proud of them. So this is what the sports journey is. If you see the second paragraph, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We all know very well that if you do not have enough energy, you will not be able to perform your duties. You will not be enthusiastic about anything. So as a sportsman so far in my life, and still I can play 50 to 60 minutes on ground football, this I did last year, and can walk 21 kilometers in 3 hours. So that is what is my sport enthusiast is. I can say if whatever energy I'm carrying today, it is only and only because of sports. Another very important thing I learned from my sports ground is how to accept defeats. Not only get success, not only leadership, how to accept defeat. And number two, and how to be ethical and moral and how to be upright all the time, even if you are not doing well in life. So that particular two aspects I learned from nothing, nowhere else, not from geology, not from management, not from law, but from the PhD of playground. PhD of playground is a sports ground. What I'm talking about, we used to fall many times in the day. I am telling to all my esteemed colleagues here or the participants that when I used to fall many times in the morning on the sports ground while playing football, I always used to say my students, it's better to fall in the playground and get up than to fall in your life. It's better to fall in the playground than to fall in the life. There's a second mantra of mine from sports, and I always inculcate same in my university, in our university of Royal Global University. Now, next slide, please. I'll just quickly browse another 2 minutes on that. And what benefits we can get from, I think Krishna ji have already emphasized on that. All other eminent people have also done that. Bring people together, social interaction, teamwork, learn to respect. I'm just reading the highlighted points: positive self-esteem, reducing stress, physical and mental well-being, leadership skills, communication skills, time management skills, learn to accept defeat, learn to be ethical and just in your life. So this is the few things which I have learned from sports, and sports can teach it better than any other thing in the classroom. And next slide, please. Way to promote in education, how to do it and how we are doing at Royal Global University. So we have a specific time in the college for the routine activity of sports, including physical education. Second is to include sports in university curriculum. And we have 3-4 courses like badminton. We have 2 indoor badminton grounds. We have courts. We have 1 squash court. We have all other indoor sports available. We have basketball, volleyball, and we recently have organized North Zone Women North Zone Inter-University lawn tennis tournament, and we were about to organize All India Inter-University baseball tournament. We have 2 baseball grounds. We have 3 football grounds, and 56 teams are coming from all over India from 25th of March 2020 to 29th of March 2020. But unfortunately, Corona came at the same time. We have to cancel it. AIU was very kind, knowing our background. They have given us all these means. Sports is a permanent part of every student who take admission. Only thing is your interest area is required. So we have due importance and weightage should be given to the candidates for faculty position. This is what I have experimented in Raipur. I have appointed 4 faculty members specifically from the sports background, and they were staying in the hostels, and all children of the hostels were being allotted to these faculty members, and every child of the hostel was going and playing in the evening times. So this kind of culture we are trying to develop in Royal Global University. I have a full-time sports person taking care of the student, but still I have miles to go to inculcate that kind of culture in our university. Our sports clubs are doing very well. We are continuously organizing tournaments, but that is still not been enough in respect to fitness of the students and sports culture. And we are sending our students to different inter-university tournaments. Next slide, please. And I think that is going to be the last but one slide, final slide. Interdepartmental sport competitions have been organized regularly. We have sports in charge in every department, which take care of the sports in that department. Awards and honors to be given to students in different frames whenever they do. I was reading it. If you are the most fit person, you should be getting some award in the convocation. Even I don't mind. We have university color in sports, as I got my university color from my University of Lucknow. And very unique thing about my University of Lucknow that have been incorporated, and especially a balance between sports and success with respect to intellectual capital. We have evolved something called Sportsman Scholar. Sportsman Scholar will be a sportsman who will represent the university in the inter-university tournament, where he will be either runner-up or winner-up in the All India level, or he will be representing the state in any of the events, either will be runner-up or winner-up in that tournament. Along with that, he or she should be captain of the team in the university, and also should score minimum 70% or 7 CGPA in their exams. Many sports people I know, they hardly get marks to pass the exam. This Sportsman Scholar will be a combination, and that I would request all my participants today. Every university in India, if that is not the sports university, should incorporate this Sportsman Scholar, where we are able to take sports and intellectual capital of the student together with the Sportsman Scholar color to the best student in the sports, as well as very, very good person in the academics. Next, please. And I think that is going to be the last slide. And that says we have some sports promotional schemes in India. So that has been already discussed. I'm just showing it to you and come to the conclusion. The last slide, last slide, please. And there we say it can be concluded that physical education in sports should be made an integral part of the curriculum of the universities and schools and colleges. In current scenario, physical education is broad-based and becomes a way of life for Indian society. Today, our country, physical education is well-established profession, and various scope of career development through physical education, as Varmaji was telling, is incorporated. School should be given more emphasis on physical activities and education. So the children we get at the age of 18 to 25, they are physically fit. Obesity should be minimum. They are agile. They are having a lot of energy. And the last line is, sports culture is necessary in all institutions of higher education, as physical well-being of young nation like us will ultimately lead to economic and all other development. If the physical activities we will not do, our nation will also not be able to achieve that much, which we are expected to achieve in 2030, 2040, to become the third biggest economy power in this world. it can be only possible through sports, through holistic education, through physical education and Fit India movement. Our Honorable Prime Minister, our Education Minister, our Chief Minister, our Minister of Sports, when I was involved with National Service Scheme from 1996 to 2001, our Sports Minister was Uma Bharti, and I remember the way she enthusiastically used to guide us and work for National Service Scheme. And we used to do a lot of sports activity under that banner also, social activities. So my best wishes to all of you. And thank you very much. I learned a lot today. 2.5 hours have passed like anything. Thank you, organizers, to give me a chance to speak on this occasion. Over to you, Dr. Neelam. Or Dr. Archana ma'am, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Singh, for your illuminating speech. And within a very short span of time, you have covered so many different aspects of sports and holistic education and how it is connected to the new education policy 2020. And so I think the need of the hour is a change in the mindset. If there is a change in the mindset, all the changes, all the things that we are hoping for will definitely take place. So thank you once again. And now I would like to say that the house is open for discussion. Due to time constraint, we can only entertain 2 questions. So like if any participants, any speakers, any guests would like to raise 1 question or 2 questions as such, they may do so. They can unmute and raise the question.
Can I just start, Archana?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let me just start with. Well, I don't know how this more than 2.5 hours passed. It's just, couldn't leave out of the room during this period. It is so interesting, so impactful. All the speakers, right from Kumar Sanjay Krishna to our very near and dear colleague, S.P. Singhji. So it was a wonderful one. And I do hope this is the beginning. This is not the end of CTEF. CTEF will not be silent. It will take this sports mission, definitely. And for that, I just have 2 sort of requests from my end. The first thing, like so many good suggestions, even from Dipankar Bhattacharya has come, from all the speakers has come, from our Vice Chancellor Sports University he has given, our SP Singh has given, in fact, all the speakers. So what is coming to my mind? Let us make a roadmap. Let us make a roadmap which we can take forward if we really want to promote sports for the younger generation, for the holistic development. And for that, if we can meet again once, only with the speakers and the organizers of today's webinar, I think it will be impactful and it will be very helpful for all of us. I am sure all of you will give the consent and accordingly let this month go, or maybe after puja, we'll sit once online, and chalk out what we can do, what kind of constructive suggestions we can put, because we want what you talked today. We want this message to go to the different sources, including the university, including MHRD and all the places. So this is how we can start to carry the sports mission in the state. And second request is to our Vice Chancellor, Aniruddha Deva Sports University. Definitely, let us collaborate one sports event. We'll do it with your university, CTEF. We are ready to do very late examination, only the examinations are going on in different colleges, maybe in 22, early part of 22, we can definitely have a wonderful event over here. And so also with Royal Global University, we can conduct events, we can conduct workshops or whatever you say, webinars or conferences, which will be impactful for our learners, for our younger generation. This is my very humble suggestion, and we are there to help you. Also to take suggestions from you. You give us guidance and accordingly we'll go and work in this mission. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All the speakers, the galaxy of speakers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I speak something?
Yes, sure,
please.
I think it's a very nice idea that whatever the things we have discussed here,
yes,
we can jot down and prepare a minutes.
Yes.
So my suggestion would be that we all can send you some brief, maybe
Yes.
1 pages or 5-6 lines or whatever it is.
Yes.
And accordingly, you can just consolidate the entire things, and then we can discuss those things. What should come out in the final minutes, so that you can just propose to other authorities in case if you feel like.
Okay, okay, okay. That's very good. I mean, it's very strategically we can go ahead if we take this. That is most welcome, definitely. So I'll be in touch with you. So Archana ji also will be in touch with you. So I request each and every speaker today, from the first to the last, you please give us your, whatever presented in brief manner, so that can be compiled, and I'll get back to you. We have jotted down, no doubt, some points I have done, even Archana has done, but the thoughts which you just presented in front of us, that will be excellent. That will be excellent to work out.
So I think we have finally reached the end of our webinar, and now it's time to express our gratitude to all the people who have helped in making this webinar a grand success through their participation and through their knowledge sharing experiences. I would first of all like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Nilima Bhagwati, International Secretary General, CTF and State Chairman, for inaugurating the webinar and also for giving her welcome address. Your strong presence, ma'am, always motivates us to give 100% effort in all our CTF activities. My next bouquet of thanks goes to Kumar Sanjay Krishna sir for giving his consent to be the keynote speaker at a webinar in spite of his hectic schedule. We learned a lot from you, sir, and hope you will continue to support us in our future endeavors too. Next, our gratitude goes out to Mr. Molloy Bora for giving us, or rather for sharing his experiences as a commissioner of sports and youth welfare for so many years. You have given us plenty of food for thought. So thank you, sir. My next bouquet of gratitude goes out to Mr. Bhargav Dev Chaudhary. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time to be with us and for sharing your knowledge and expertise in the field of sports. I would now next like to offer my vote of thanks to Abhijit Bhattacharjee for sharing his life journey, which certainly was very motivating, and it will definitely inspire the young generation to do likewise in any sports if they focus on their goals sincerely. Next, I would like to offer my bouquet of gratitude to Professor J.P. Verma. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion and sharing with us your insights, knowledge, and expertise in the field of education and sports. Next, I would like to offer my bouquet of thanks to Professor S.P. Singh for your wonderful speech, which encompassed various aspects leading to holistic development. Our special vote of thanks goes out to Gracia Technology, our collaborator, particularly its CEO, Mr. Biju Pegu, for always supporting us in all our endeavors. Last but not the least, my bouquet of thanks goes out to all our invited guests, participants who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook live stream. Without your support and presence, this webinar would not have been possible. So a big thank you to all of you.
Big thank you.
Now I request everyone to join us while we sing the national anthem. Thank you. Santosh?
Yes, the national anthem.
Yes, ma'am.
Jana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttara Vanga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jaladhi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashish Mange Gahe Tava Jaya Gatha Jana Gana Mangala Dayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He
So on behalf of Council for Teacher Education Assam chapter, I now officially declare that the webinar has come to an end. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. And it was grand.
Thank you all.
Excellent
Thank you very
speakers
much,
we
Dr.
had.
Nilima. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy that you made it. I'm happy you made